What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Grit, brought to you by Skyball Apparel, of course. I'm Victoria Dennis, alongside superstar Savvy Simo, USA standout, AVP, for me, it's just, can I say my favorite? Like, I don't even know what to say, but making waves on the AVP tour and for Team USA across the world.
Dude.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. This studio is amazing, and yeah, I'm excited to be on Grit finally.
Yeah.
It's been forever. Like, our schedule's been so busy this year,
I know.
so thank you for being patient. But yeah, I'm so glad I'm finally here.
Anytime.
I love it. Yeah,
yay.
it.
So let's just dive into your career.
Okay.
For those of you who, you have to live under a rock to not know who Savvy Simo is. But for those of you who need an intro, what's your 30-second intro?
Love it. I am Savvy Simo. I'm from San Diego, California. Went to Torrey Pines High School, and then played both beach and indoor volleyball at UCLA. I did them all 4 years. Then during my fourth season of beach, COVID happened, so I went back for a fifth year, and loved it. I loved it. I debated maybe playing indoor after college, but with COVID and everything, I went straight into the AVP tour in 2021 when I graduated. And so that was kind of a weird first year because COVID was kind of still going on. So 2022 was kind of my first full year, and kind of been doing it ever since and loving it. Yeah.
So I said Simo, you just said Simo. I've heard MCs across the world say both, but now we have it. It's Simo, people.
It's Savvy Simo. If you call me Savvy Simo, I will not correct you. I don't care enough. Simo and some other ones are a little funky, but yeah, I've heard it all. So yeah, it is Savvy Simo, but Savvy Simo sounds cool as well. I don't really mind it. So yeah, whatever you prefer.
You never know.
I don't really care.
You never know. Well, your partner right now is Abby Van Winkle, and you two have made, waves on the AVP tour. You have 3 tournament wins under your belt. That's Virginia, Denver, AVPs, and you have a Norseca win as well. What has it been like partnering up? And it's, in your own words, not to take it out of your mouth, your best season.
Yeah, playing with Abby's been amazing. I played with her at UCLA the COVID season. So in 2020, we only had like a month or two together, and she was just recovering from, crazy enough, she had melanoma on her foot. So put sunscreen on your feet, people. But so she was recovering, so it was kind of just a little bit of time together, and then we kind of played together a little bit in 2021, trying to qualify for some AVP stuff. But yeah, we partnered back up this year, and it's been amazing. She's one of my best friends, and so it's been fun competing alongside her, and we've had some really big wins against some really big teams, and obviously some big wins in some good tournaments and stuff. Yeah, we won. Denver was a really special one because Evan, my fiance, won as well. So that was really special. And then, winning Virginia Beach too was big, as those were both qualifiers for, one was for Manhattan, one was for Chicago. And we were kind of on the cusp, so that was a really big deal. And then the Norseca win was really fun too. We were in Cuba, so that's just an interesting place to be. And followed that up with a great tournament in Manhattan where we beat Kelly Chang and Sarah Hughes, our great friends and great competitors. And yeah, so it's been really one of my best seasons. And I think the way that it all kind of ended with the league stuff, which we can talk about, like, has kind of like put a shift in that perspective. But I appreciate you reminding me of what a great season we've had for me and Abby. It's definitely been my best season, and Abby's for sure too. I've taken on a new role this year of being like the veteran on the team, which is interesting. I'm only like a year older than Abby, so it's funny, but just a couple more years of experience, because she went back for I think she's 2 grades below me and went back for a 5th year as well. So I kind of had the extra edge in terms of like international travel. So it's been really cool showing her the ropes and getting to travel these amazing places and compete alongside her.
Yeah, that transition from college to professional level, like, we talk to so many people on the show, and everybody has different experiences.
Totally.
But this sport is so unique in the fact where it's like you're kind of on your own.
Totally.
Like in the NFL, you'll go to the combine, you'll get drafted, and then you have an entire staff with the Chargers or the Rams, not to be like LA favorite, but
of course, naturally.
What was your experience like transitioning?
Yeah, it was interesting. So I actually played my first tournament with Megan Kraft in the Atlanta AVP qualifier. We qualified and went on to beat Kelly Chang and Sarah Sponsel fresh off their Olympic run in Tokyo. And so that was a really big deal. And yeah, the transition was tough because no one really, there's no like book on how to do it. There's no like guidelines on the best way to do it. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's partner situation is different. So it's a grind. And I'm so used to being on a team, like, and competing for other people. And so when it kind of just comes down to like you and your one other partner, like, it's very individual, which is just different than anything I've ever done. Obviously you play in individual tournaments and stuff when you're younger, but it's just like different than anything I've ever done. So it definitely was a transition, and it took me a couple of seasons to figure out. And then, navigating friendships within the community is tough too, because you have to play against them, hang out with them, then compete against them. And yeah, it's gnarly. It's gnarly. Our sport's very different. Living in the South Bay is very interesting, and it's just kind of this small little bubble. But I've adjusted well. It's just taken time to kind of, get my bearings and figure it out. But yeah, this season really feels different than others, and I feel like I've found my footing, and it's been really good.
Yeah, the South Bay you mentioned, it is a bubble, and everybody knows everyone, and it's always interesting to see like what those relationships are, and like everybody has their own relationship with each person. But I mean, like, you coming from San Diego, your fiance Evan Corey growing up outside of New Orleans, South Bay is a very different scene.
It's very different. Like San Diego, like there's beach volleyball, and it's not that different, but it is. Like, I don't know, the South Bay is just it's a very special place. It's very different, and it's super fun, and I love living there. It's nice to get out every once in a while, but it's cool, and it's perfect for training to be playing against the best teams, and to have the competition daily, to have access to the USA facility is really special. And I think that's been like a huge reason why my career's been going well, because I've had the resources and I've had the support and the people and the program to kind of make it all happen.
Yeah. Let's talk about your journey with Abby this calendar year. So you guys are studs, solidified a couple wins, 3 wins to be exact, under your belt, had a lot of top 5 finishes throughout the year, AVPs, non-AVPs, and then the AVP League popped up. So all the athletes were competing for a spot in the league, starting with the first heritage stop in Huntington. And then we had Chicago happen that you were involved in. And tell us a little bit about that.
So me and Abby, we started out the season. So the league, like you said, the qualifiers for the league were how you finished in Huntington, Manhattan, Chicago. And we didn't have a great finish in Huntington. I think we played good volleyball, but we were still kind of a newer partnership, had a new coach. We're working on some new things, and I think, it was good takeaways, and super early in the season, so we had time to grow. In Manhattan, we took a 5th. We could have even, done better, I think, but, we gave it our all, and it was a great finish. And so
you have to give credit where credit is due.
Totally.
And I'm going to cut you off
That's
there
fair.
Because like also in our sport, I feel like people walk away sometimes from tournaments being like, oh, I didn't win it. Like, this was like a sucky tournament for me. And like, it's not like, just because like you were runner up or 3rd or top 5 at the Super Bowl of beach volleyball, like that is such an accomplishment that I think like you should celebrate. And I know you have celebrated that top 5 finish. I know because like we are so competitive, you always want like, oh, I could have done this. I could have done that. Like we could have done X, Y, and Z, but like at the end of the day, you have to give credit where credit is due, and like you earned that.
Totally, and I appreciate it. And I'm very proud of our finish too. I think it's just like we were playing so well. It's like I felt like we could have gone and won that tournament, and I'm not disappointed in the finish, but it just shows like where we were going. And so then we go to Chicago, and we take a 9th, which we weren't very proud of. We won our first game was good, and then we lost to Clothen Nuss 19-17 in the 3rd set, which that was like a victory for us. Like we played so well, and then we didn't show up the next morning.
So we went on to win it.
Yeah, so we take a 9th, which is fine, and and then the leagues, we were tied with another team, and it came down to a tie break. And
in Chicago. So in Chicago, you took a 9th.
Yes.
It came down to a tie break. I was broadcasting and like getting fed information in real time. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, what am I allowed to say on the stream right now? And so we were putting the puzzle pieces together like in real time with you, with the fans, with everyone else. And so, okay, walk us through it. We're in Chicago. You finished playing. You earned a 9th.
We earned a 9th, and then we run over to see how Haley and Kylie do, and they lose their game too. So we both finish at a 9th. We know we're tied in league standings, but we're tied for 7th. So we're like, okay, we're probably in the league. We knew the AVP could give a wild card, but we weren't sure if they were. We also knew we had won Virginia Beach and Denver. So we were like, okay, if it comes down to a tie break, like they probably will use that, they'll think about that. So we weren't really concerned. And then we heard we were gonna have a playoff game to get into the league after the completion of our games in Chicago. Like we had no idea. So, kind of fast forward a couple hours and yeah, we ended up having to play a game against Harvard de Burgh with the new league format, 2 sets of 15 with a tie break to 15. And it was one of the most stressful, terrible games of my career. Like, I don't think we played bad, but I don't think anyone played their best. What was on the line was huge. And like, we lost 15-12 in the third set, and it was absolutely heartbreaking, to have been playing as well as we were playing and to have wanted to be in the league so bad. It hurt so bad. So yeah, we ended up being the alternates. And it's taken weeks to like process. I was so hurt, so bitter, and so yeah, for that first league stop at UCLA, we were the alternates, and it was really hard to be there. Like really, really hard. I'm thankful that we're the alternates and we have the opportunity to be there, but at the same time, like we really wanted to be playing. And now we just did the San Diego stop at San Diego State, and we're the alternates for that. And so, a slightly different perspective, more gratitude to be there. Still upset to not be playing, but time heals everything. And for lack of a better term, the Chicago thing was kind of a traumatic experience, and like it's just taking time to heal because we pour our heart and soul into this sport. This is all we do, and so when something like that happens, it really makes you question like your what you're doing and how you're doing things, and to have these plans to be playing and to be confident you're going to be playing and to be playing well and like wanting to prove yourself, wanting to make money, like all these things. And to have that kind of taken away from you so fast and so out of the blue, it was incredibly hard. So I've been struggling a bit mentally from it, and I know Abby's had some things as well. But yeah, it's definitely taken a toll on me for sure. But I feel like I'm kind of on the ups and starting to practice again. I took some time off and everything, and so that's good. I want to get back to my routine. I love the game. I've never not wanted to play. It just was such an interesting time and such an interesting situation that no one's ever experienced, no one's been a part of, not even the AVP. Like, no one gets what we get except for us. And yeah, it's just time to move on. I think it was important to process and to be mad and to be sad and all these things. And then it's time to move on. I'm excited with where the league is going. It just hurts so much because I wanted to be a part of something so new and so special, so bad. And I hope it's super successful because we'd love to be doing that next year.
Yeah, they talked about adding more teams to the cities looking forward. Mm-hmm. Right now, do you like the structure of the league? You've been on site at UCLA and at the Viejas Arena for San Diego State. Yeah. It's kind of like college teams playing each other, where you have like SC, UCLA, and then it could be like year ones play your twos, your threes, your fours, maybe?
Yeah. The format's new, but it's exciting. And I think the whole like men and women's team it's different. It's like, it's difficult because, there's that extra added pressure now that you have another team that's relying on you, but it's really cool to see the team supporting each other. And I do think it'd be really cool if it got to a point where it was like 3 pairs per city, competing and whatever, or just more teams with more cities, or that, you know what I mean? Either way is good. I'd love to see it continuing to expand, which I think is their goal. For sure is their goal. And yeah, we've taken on a new role of spectator and kind of watching, and it's cool. The sets to 15 are definitely different, but it adds a feel for the fans to get excited, and it changes the game for the players to like have to be awake right when they hit the court, and then you have more time to scout. You're less tired. You're more fresh. All these things. So there's pros and cons and things they're working out, like, shifting to maybe a Friday, Saturday night versus a Saturday, Sunday they may do. I don't know exactly what the qualifications is going to be like next year, maybe more like a true draft, but we're excited regardless and like hoping that this continues in the direction that they're hoping it goes, because this could be really big for the athletes and for the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
So you played in the Hermosa Open after Chicago and still processing everything. Can you walk us through Hermosa Open?
Yeah. That was only a couple days after Chicago, and so we were still kind of processing everything. We were so exhausted, emotionally, mentally drained, and came into Hermosa. We weren't even sure we really wanted to play. We were like, we want to just take a break, but we were excited to like just go play in a tournament and go have fun, and we competed so well. We made it to the semis and we lost in the semis and kind of dropped back into the loser bracket. It was a true double elimination tournament, and I ended up forfeiting my last match. I've struggled with anxiety and panic attacks my whole life, and had panic attacks on and off the court and been able to manage. And it just got to a point in match where I couldn't manage, and I was so exhausted, so run down, and my body and brain kind of just were like, we're done. And I've pushed through a lot. I was pushing through that whole week, and I had a panic attack in a couple other matches, and usually my panic attacks last 10, 15 minutes, and these were hours long. I couldn't get control of myself, and I think a lot of that comes from fatigue and stuff like that. But yeah, even now talking about it is triggering because it was kind of a traumatic experience, and I've never had to forfeit. I have forfeited matches, but not because of me, because my partner gets injured or something. I've never had to forfeit, and so that's been a process to work through too. It kind of was weird getting back into playing because I took a break after, and it, just feeling how I felt in that game was just terrible. The exhaustion and everything. My brain just was like, I felt like I was gonna black out. And so I called it, and I was devastated to call it, but I knew I needed to. I couldn't have kept going. I had been pushing so much before that. And I was proud of myself for listening to my body, listening to my mind, and doing what was best for me, because I really couldn't have kept going. And so yeah, that was frustrating for sure as well, because Abby and I were playing really, really good volleyball. But I think the break was necessary. I took about 3 weeks off. We have plans to go play in those fall challengers at the end of the year, and so maybe not making the league and having this break was kind of a blessing in disguise. I think everything happens for a reason, and so we've had time to process. Abby went to Hawaii with her boyfriend's family, and I've kind of done a couple different things, but mostly just tried to rest my brain and take care of myself, and do what's best for me. And so hopefully we can come back strong and playing those fall challengers. We had our first practice back with our coach today, and it was super exciting. The things we're working on, and our touch is still there. Obviously things are a little rusty, but the things they haven't really gone anywhere, and so that's reassuring. And today was the first day I felt super motivated to get back, which is really, really inspiring for me, because it's just been kind of unmotivated and just tired and feeling off the last couple of weeks. And I think it's just a cycle. Everyone goes through it. But as a pro athlete, it's really hard. Because when you feel off and you're tired, it's really hard to get the motivation to go do physical activities and run around in the sand and lift weights when you're just feeling terrible. And today it felt good. It's it's connecting again, which is really exciting.
Good. Yeah. I feel like rest is so underrated because the society we live in, we're so overstimulated. A lot of that is from social media.
Yep.
So when we go on, we're constantly comparing ourselves, and it's oh, who's training? Oh, they're training. I need to train. Oh, they lifted. I need to lift. And it's that constant, you're always stimulated.
Totally.
And you're always comparing yourself. Yeah. Even if you're actively trying not to, it's hard because it's in your face all the time.
It's so hard. And then you live in the South Bay and you bike down the street and you just want to go on a bike ride, and you see everyone practicing. My fiance Evan Corey plays as well, and he's the most motivated person I've ever met. I'm really proud of him and what he's doing, and he doesn't usually take many breaks. And so when I needed a break, he was still off at the gym and practicing, and that was really hard to be at home. And I didn't really want to take a break. I just knew I needed to, and I physically didn't want to do anything. I mentally wanted to go, but physically I was just so tired, and it's hard to not compare. I've actually been off social media a bit. I go on there and maybe post stories, but I haven't posted anything. I haven't posted a reflection of Chicago. I haven't posted how I'm doing. It was my birthday. I didn't really post anything, stuff like that. I just kind of have taken the back seat on that. I had a ton of unread messages, unread emails, and it's crazy that I feel just the times I've been trying to disconnect, I get the most people reaching out, whether it's checking in on me or needing something or wanting to do something. I'm it's crazy. I had so many texts to get back to, but I needed to do what was best for me and take time for myself. I've been reading a bunch, trying to get out in nature more.
Phones, right?
Oh yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Fantasy books, they're so good. And it's all new. I think we all, as we get older, we change slightly here and there. And some of the things that I enjoyed doing before, I don't as much. And some of the things I never thought I would enjoy, I'm enjoying a lot more. Laying in bed and reading books. I'm loving that, which has never been me. I'm usually the Energizer Bunny who wants to just go, see people all day, go out. I'm just not like that anymore. and that's okay. Like accepting that, like, you know, change is okay, and doing what's best for you is okay, and being comfortable like laying around like that. Like you said, like we're trained as athletes and just where we live and with social media to just be going, and more is better, and sometimes less is more. And taking the rest you need is. I've learned that rest days are sometimes more important than training days for your body and your mind. Like a lot of people need to rest their body. For me, it's more my mind. Like I just need time for my mind to decompress. I'm very anxious all the time. That's just how I am, and so I think I burn a lot more calories than I realize, and I think I like go more than, you know, the normal person, and so I may need just like that much more rest and recovery to make sure I'm at my best, so I'm not like burning at both ends, you know.
Yeah, and I totally can relate to that. Like you cannot feel guilty for taking time for yourself, and that's not just like, oh, I took like time for myself today, I got like a coffee and I sat down for 2 hours. Like no, like sometimes time for yourself is like multiple days, multiple weeks, like it can even lead into like a month of like or more, like of how much you need to like disconnect from a certain thing in your life, and like that's okay. Like, and I think that needs to be talked about, because like right now it's not at all. And I think that, you know, disconnecting, especially in today's world, like humans weren't built to take in as much information as we are. Like back in the day, like you really just had like your tribe and your village, and then like, you know, society has grown bigger and bigger and all that. And like now we know what's happening on the other side of the world, like in real time. Whereas before, like it used to be like, what's your day like? Like food and water and shelter and your family. And like that's where our lineage really like came from. And I don't think that like our bodies and our brains have caught up with how rapidly society is changing.
Totally. And I think the phones and the social media are a huge part of that. And like, it's something that needs to be talked about more, and I never thought I'd be the one to talk about rest. I never felt like I needed a rest. I'm like, I feel great. I can go forever. I'm like, I can go forever. Because physically, I usually don't get run down, but I've learned over the years that just, you know, mine's always, you know, my mind, and I just need to protect it and take care of it, and be. I'm so comfortable, you know, with who I am and what I'm doing, but when it comes to like taking care of myself, sometimes I'm like, I need a rest, but I feel it literally makes me uncomfortable sometimes, like laying in bed. Like I just always feel like even though I need it, I feel like I should be doing something. But the last couple of weeks have been very humbling. They've been very eye-opening, and I'm excited to just get back on track and go for those challengers. I've kind of taken on a new little job too. I've been working with Steve Obradovich and Kevin Martin on the Newport Invitational Four-Man coming up on October 19th. I'll give them a little shout out. It's the prize purse is $250,000. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's the biggest one-day, you know, tournament in terms of prize money ever. It's a really special event, and Steve Obradovich, we call him Obi, he asked me to help him just, you know, get the players together, and it's a big project, and I'm stoked to have been a part of it, and so that's been fun to kind of occupy my time in the meantime, and connect with the athletes and connect with them to make a really great event. So that's like my next competition that I'm really looking forward to before those fall challengers, and I can't wait to be a part of that, and hopefully that's an event that keeps going for years and years and years, and it's something that's new and exciting. Players love four-man because it's we're doing what we love, but in a slightly different and less stressful format. The prize money is amazing, it's life-changing, and I'm just stoked to be a part of it and be on that side of it, on that team, and hopefully we can continue to do it for years to come.
Yeah, last year was the first year. It's in Newport.
Yeah, Newport Beach. Last year was the first year. I want to say we have like 20 Olympians playing between the men and the women, indoor and beach, which is insane. It's insane. It's going to be some really high-level volleyball, and if people want to come out and watch, I highly recommend. And like I said, hopefully at least this tournament goes on for years to come, but maybe we continue to grow that four-man stuff and get opportunities for the players to market themselves, to make money, and to have fun. Like really, it was such a fun tournament last year. Obviously, we're stoked on the prize money, but it's nice to just go out there and have fun and go to the player party after and enjoy time with people. It's kind of a nice end of season cap off, and it's super special, and I'm stoked to be a part of it.
And you're live streaming it. I was gonna broadcast for it, but it's my best friend Caitlin's birthday. Shout out.
Oh, that's fun.
I'll be out of town. I already booked a trip out of town.
They're still figuring out all the details on that.
Right?
Yeah, it'll be streaming, so people can watch at home or there if they're local. I highly suggest coming. there's gonna be like a VIP area and it's fun zone and all kinds of stuff. So, and it's on the beach. Who doesn't like being on the beach, drinking a little bit and watching some good volleyball? But it will be streamed. More information to come, but yeah, it will be. Yeah.
And there's an Instagram page people can follow along.
Yep, there's an Instagram page. I would need to double check the handle. I think it's just like Newport Beach Volleyball, something like that. I need to go. I wish I had that.
We'll tag it in the video.
We'll tag it in the video.
Yep.
But yeah, follow on Instagram. The players will be posting some content as well, promoting it too. Yeah, so it'll be great.
Sick.
It'll be great.
Sweet. Yeah, you're like spearheading that too. You're the right-hand man for that tournament. You're like director of operations, CEO. Like
I definitely got more involved than I thought I would, and which is good. And it's was nice, I think, for them to have someone on the player side to be helping to kind of navigate all that and tell them, what works for socials and what doesn't, and getting the player contacts and stuff. It's just easy because I'm connected to the community, and so it worked out for everyone. And it's been a great opportunity to learn about the business side of things and learn how to organize a tournament and stuff. Like it's been really cool to learn from all of them.
Yeah, it's a whole beast.
It's a whole beast. There's a lot more that goes into tournaments than people think. And so continue to be grateful for those who run the tournaments. Like the Hermosa Open ran so well. The AVP is doing a ton of work trying to get the league going, but there's so many behind the scenes in all these tournaments, and it's awesome that these people want to come together and continue to grow the sport and give us opportunities to be able to play the game we love and make a living out of it. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, I want to commend again what you have done just in the sport in general, and being so transparent about like your journey. And my hat is off to you about being so open about dealing with anxiety, especially like on the stage and platform that you have, because not a lot of people like feel comfortable talking about it, and that's okay.
Totally.
But it's definitely a topic of issue, and I just, my hat is off to you for that.
I appreciate that a lot, and we're all trying to find our purpose out here and figure it out. And I've always known I've wanted to play volleyball, but I also know I want to help people. Like I'm very fulfilled helping people, and I'm still trying to find the right way to help people. But I know that sharing my story and being vulnerable, one, it helps me just like kind of get things off my chest, and I'm a very open person, but I think it's helped a lot of other people too. I've kind of created this community of people who I can speak to and trust, and like the more open I am about it, the more help I get and the better I feel. Like I have so many different people working beside me to help me, and I could never do this by myself. Like there's so many wrinkles and layers, and everyone has their own affliction, and you don't have to talk about it, and you can fight the journey alone. But I find that fighting it alongside other people is really awesome. I think it's something I'll deal with forever, and in different waves and in different phases of my life. But I think being anxious is what makes me great too. It helps me with my career. It helps me in my relationships, and I highly suggest watching Inside Out 2. Just thinking about
that.
That's a great movie. I just watched it the other day, and it was like, I was so emotional watching it because they really did a good job of like accurately portraying like anxiety, and it could be really good, like but when it spirals, it's not. And I've been spiraling a little bit, and it's hard to climb out of that. And the way that they portrayed it is so accurate, and at the end of the day, the only person that can really help it is you. But
when were you first aware?
High school, I was aware. I've been anxious forever, but in high school, I was really aware and struggling for blips in college too. My triggers are all kind of different too. I'm a huge hypochondriac and stuff. It was never the stress of games or the stress of tests that got me. It was just, it's weird. The bigger things in life, like, things we can't control and stuff like that. And just little things like that. I actually started taking a daily medication a couple of days ago, super low dose, to kind of help me get on track. I've never done that. I've been resistant to it, and I'm finally just like, I need help. Like, why am I suffering? Why am I fighting this so much when I could get the help I need, and I don't have to stay on it forever if I don't want to. And like, I'm just proud of myself for being proactive, and I think I'm taking all the right steps, and each day is different, and there's, good moments, bad moments, good days, bad days. And like, I'm just constantly reassuring myself, but it's so nice to have the support from so many people and like so many professionals and people like through the USA system and psychiatrists and sports psychs and therapists and all these people that want to help. Like, and that's just for me being open. Like, I could be fighting this battle alone and no one would know and I'd be suffering more, you know what I mean? And so being vulnerable, being open has only helped me and helped others and created a amazing community for me and a family for me that I need. Like, some people don't need that. I need it. I need a community. I need a family and people supporting me and pushing me and challenging me and helping me when I need help. And I'm proud of myself for what I'm doing and where I'm at, and frustrated too, like with, you know, the lows that I have, but I know that it makes me better, and nothing lasts forever. Everything passes, and yeah. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. For those who might be going through a couple things in life and don't know how to communicate either with their like partner or maybe like a close relative, like how have you communicated with your fiance, for example, this journey?
It's hard. It's hard. I'm still learning how to do it and still struggling to do it. A lot of people don't know what to say. People who don't understand the anxiety, depression, panic attack thing, they don't know what to say. And it's hard when you're in it and you're talking to someone and they don't know what to say, and you know they don't know what to say, or they say, I don't know what to say. It almost makes it worse. So you have to find what makes you comfortable. And for me, it's just like an embrace, like a hug, or someone saying it's going to pass. It's going to be okay. Even if I don't listen in the moment, it's a good reminder. And like I said, Inside Out 2, like there's a scene where they all hug and I'm like, was sobbing. So I was like, literally, like that's what you need. You just sometimes need someone to listen or to just give you a hug or to say it's going to be okay. And, you know, everyone's different. Everyone needs different things. I love getting outside, talking to people is distracting and stuff like that. And you just have to be able to communicate that with your friends, with your partners, with your teammates, coaches, whatever it is, so that they understand you, because sometimes you don't even know what to do. But I just know for me, like hearing those things and feeling those things is so important, and it's taken time for me to figure out what I need. And sometimes all I need is just a hug and just say, hey, I'm having a panic attack, or hey, I'm not feeling great. And just a hug or some deep breaths with someone saying you're going to be okay, or trying to distract you. Like all of those things are great. And you just kind of got to figure out what's best for you. But communication is key, and you can't expect someone to react perfectly, because even though I have anxiety and panic, like I may not know how to respond to someone else's. I'm so, you know, in my head up here. And, you know, just patience is a big one too. Patience and understanding and love and comfort, all those things. And, you know, we all have things to work on, but the anxiety and panic is very foreign to some people. And like, you know, Evan, for example, he doesn't get it. But he works so hard to understand and to be there, and to, and it's taken years, it's taken time, like in frustration and lack of patience. And I'm so grateful for him for sticking by me and, wanting to help and be there and supporting. And yeah, it's just, it's tough. It's tough when you don't get it and you want to, and you care so much and you want to help. I see it, you know what I mean? I see how it affects people and how they don't know what to say. And that hurts me too. But, yeah, just trying to positive self-talk to yourself as well is the most important. Reminding yourself you're going to be okay, and that you're going to get through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And building that tiny army around you.
Yeah, you need it. I mean, not everyone, I guess, but I need it for sure.
Yeah.
I need it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess any last piece of advice that you would have for maybe a junior looking to play collegiately right now, something specific that maybe a middle school or high school girl or boy needs to hear?
I mean, I think just go for what you want to do. Go for your dreams and chase them. And there's no better time than the present to do what you love, and take time for yourself. And like, just like always do what you love. Like, there's no reason to live this life doing things you don't like. Like, take care of yourself, prioritize yourself, and do the things you love and what makes you happy. You know, it's not easy to do that sometimes, but try your best and communicate with people. And yeah, I just want everyone to be happy.
Yeah. Well, you are a shining presence wherever you go. Seriously.
Thanks, Vic.
From riding camels together in Morocco to being on site here at Manhattan Beach Studios, Anywhere you
come
go.
full circle.
Come full circle.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. This is incredible. And if people want to reach me to talk about volleyball or anything, you know, panic attack, whatever, like I'm an open book. Find me on Instagram, I guess. I've been pretty absent, but you can find me there. And when I get to it, I will respond. I want to help people. And if anyone has any suggestions for me, I'm always open to it and willing to discuss, you know, my problems and anyone else's. And yeah, keep supporting my volleyball journey. I love what I'm doing and I want to keep going. And
you're making a run for LA 2028.
I'm gonna make a run for LA, and it's far ways away, but it comes up pretty quick, and that's been my goal forever. Whether I achieve it or not, I'm just proud to go for it, and give it my all. And after that, reassess where I'm at in my life and see if I want to keep doing this or if I want to go down a different path. And whatever I choose is great. But for now, I'm loving it. I want to keep going and see where the sport progresses. I think it's so sick that we're playing in LA in 2028, and it'd be a very special thing to be a part of that.
It will, absolutely. Yeah. You and your fiance, you have to plan a wedding, by the way.
I know, I got to plan a wedding. I just got engaged a couple months ago, and I got to plan a wedding. And a lot of people think that's stressful, but I think it's fun. It's something different than what I've been doing. And
hey, if you can plan a four-man, you can plan a wedding.
That's true. Honestly, I think the wedding might be easier at this point. But yeah, I agree. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Appreciate all the support.
Yeah, anytime. So make sure if you want to reach out to Savvy, you can follow her on Instagram. We'll put her handle here. Instagram DM's better than email for you if anybody had any questions.
Yeah, Instagram DM's great. Yeah.
Perfect. And she will get to them.
I will eventually. Yes. I'll be better, but yeah.
Well, thank you for joining.
Thanks, Vic.
Appreciate you.
Lovely studio. This is amazing. Yeah.
Yes, Manhattan Beach Studios. We will see you hopefully sooner than later. Who knows? But make sure to like and subscribe this episode. If you have any comments here about what we talked about, I am within texting distance from Savvy. So if you want to throw a question on there on this episode, I will absolutely read it, get to it, and forward it to Savvy. And yeah, if you're curious about anything, that's about it. Well,
thank you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll see you next time.
Peace.